Good morning. I want to welcome you to Chelmsford High's second and hopefully annual rocket pitch competition. We appreciate you being here. Today, the students from the Entrepreneurship course will present to you their projects they've been working on developing since the start of the school year. We promoted this as a Shark Tank event because everyone's familiar with the TV show. Guidelines today are a little bit different. Students are tasked with identifying a real-world problem, recognizing the opportunities presented by this problem, identifying a solution to the problem that can work. When Chelmsford High initiated the Innovation Pathways program in business and finance a year ago, the Entrepreneurship course was brought back into our course offerings. In order to make the course project-based and hands-on, as well as qualify for dual enrollment status with Middlesex Community College, we needed to find a way to challenge the students. Initially, we stole, or the correct term might be borrowed, concepts from DECA's entrepreneurship events, which led us to the Difference Makers program at the University of Massachusetts Lowell. This has been an unbelievably beneficial relationship for us. This semester, a number of UMass Lowell students have come to Chelmsford High and worked with our students, mentored our students on their projects. This morning, the 5 groups of students will present their projects. They will have a maximum of 5 minutes to present, and then up to another 5 minutes for questions from our judges. Our judges include Dr. Lang. Dr. Lang is the superintendent of the Chelmsford Public Schools, and at one time, he was a business teacher here at Chelmsford High. Donna McFadden. Donna is the Massachusetts DECA State Advisor. And a reminder to all the students, as you've heard me say before, there's still time for you to join DECA this year. Kevin Willett is a professor from UMass Lowell Manning School of Business. He's an entrepreneur, an online networking event host, and he's a great follow on LinkedIn. Dr. Hirsch is the Assistant Superintendent of Chelmsford Public Schools. Managing the evolving curriculums is a real-world problem, requiring creative and innovative solutions, much like what these students were tasked with. And Principal Murray, you guys know that you give him real-world problems every day. So let's get to the students and their presentations. Our first group that's going to present is Rock and Golf.
Hello everyone, we're Rock and Golf. My name is David.
My name is Sabrina.
I'm Armani.
I'm Chathan.
And I'm Leo.
All right, so first with our problem. So our problem is about golf and music. So music is becoming more popular on the course, and implementing it into a round is difficult. So you have to either bring a separate speaker or headphones, which requires making sure that you charge it or that you remember it in the first place. Battery life also can become a problem, so we wanted to find a solution relating to that. So you may think that that wouldn't work. Golf is supposed to be quiet, supposed to be very professional, but that isn't the case anymore. Golf is becoming a younger sport. A lot of young people are starting to play. And statistically, they like to play music on the course. They like to be a lot more informal in how they play. So that's where we got the idea for this solution.
So a company recently enlisted by Golf last year from October to November of 2021 had a survey of 2,817 random golfers and 23 spending-related questions. And the results were 43.8% of people spending $500 to $1,000, 40.1% of people spending less than $500, 13.4% of people spending $1,000 to $2,000, and 2.7% of people spending $2,000 plus.
The total participants in golf for young adults is 10.9 million with 6.1 million on-course participants. Golf has reached 106 million junior golfers on the course in 2021. These numbers show that the golf market is getting younger. more money is to be spent in golf and golf accessories.
Our solution. Our solution is to have a traditional golf bag, but less bulky and simplistic with 5 slots on the top and our speaker on the top. We plan on having it come in multiple colors and have it charge more than 4 hours than a traditional speaker. So you don't forget to charge it. Before you go, you can have a solar power charger or you can plug it into the wall. We will sell directly online with no middleman retailer, and we will partner with a speaker brand like JBL or Beats. This will help our company with lower our manufacturing cost. And this is the quote and picture of Caddyshack.
By winning, we will create a prototype and give it to families and friends and help with production costs. And we will also advertise in social media like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok.
All right, thank you, and any questions?
I'll ask later. So I'm interested in buying one.
Text it to me.
So I have a question about the machine. How will you be able to turn it on and off? So if your foursome's playing, my foursome pulls up, we both have music cranking, how's that going to work?
We will have it connected to Bluetooth, so you can have an app on your phone and you can turn it on and off, and we'll have a switch on the bag so you can lower the volume up and down.
Yeah, great answer. So when you looked up the other company, there was a lot of bad things about them. How are you going to improve on that, and why would someone like JBL want to work with you?
JBL would want to work with us because we're going to be one of the only bags that are going to have a speaker on it, because Sun Mountain Boom Bag, our competitor, is our only competitor, and they had a low quality speaker and it wasn't partnered with any brand, and it was their own brand, and it was very low quality, and a lot of people didn't like the sound of it, and they didn't like the quality of the bag because throwing it over your shoulder with a speaker was way too bulky.
Thank you, nice answer.
I have a quick question. Was there any consideration on how this would be presented to the different golf country clubs, places where the music would be played, and if there's any regulations around that? Because I can only assume that that could interfere with the actual playing of golf.
Yeah, so we did consider that. This would probably target more to someone who would play at their local course, smaller courses. Obviously, if someone was going to go play, Pebble Beach, for example, that's probably not somewhere where it's going to happen. There might be more regulations there, but there is no standard like USGA rule against playing music, so it wouldn't be against any rules. It would be more up to the club whether they accepted it or not. If they didn't accept it, obviously you don't have to play music, but most clubs would, especially Chelmsford Country Club. They would be very open to it. So that's just like a local example.
Thank you.
Quick question for you. Is your product itself actually the speaker? Does the speaker stay in the bag the whole time? And to charge it, do you have to remove the whole speaker from the bag? Or is it just a battery pack that you would remove and charge?
Yeah, so the speaker can be removed, but it does come with the bag built in. So it's possible to remove it and charge it like USB charge, but we're going to include a solar panel on the bag. Obviously, you're playing golf outside, so the solar panel will help keep it charged, and say, like, you had it stowed away, your tee time's in 25 minutes or something, you can charge it real quick on the way. So you can plug it in and remove it, but the idea is that you're not supposed to remove it so you don't forget it.
Right, and this is solely a speaker, correct? You do need some type of a Bluetooth device to hook up your own music to. There's no music component within the speaker?
Yeah, so the speaker will be Bluetooth, so you can just connect it to your phone as you would with a just traditional like headphones, for example, like Bluetooth headphones.
What's the range, like how loud can it get?
Well, we want it to be just as loud so everyone that's playing a round of golf can hear it, but not any outside players. So when you're going up to the on the green, you can shut it off so it's quiet and you can focus and not interrupt anyone else playing.
And I might have missed this, but how much are you selling it for?
So we still have to, we'd have to work with more manufacturers to get more of an exact price. Looking at online, trying to find like wholesale retailers, kind of an idea of the cost. We'd hope somewhere around $250, hopefully under. The Sun Mountain bag was, I believe, about $325 or so. So it would be significantly less. Obviously, the cost goes up for production with the speaker, but by pairing them together, it's less than buying the two individually. So trying to keep it around $250, more than just a regular golf bag without the speaker, but not so much more that the cost isn't justifiable. Because if you bought two separately, it would cost more.
Thank you.
Mike, do you have any further questions? I think we're all set.
Our next group is the hockey stick.
I'm Kathy.
I'm Braden.
I'm Ayush,
And I'm Gabriel.
And we are the Hockey Stick.
So hockey is a game that can be played by anyone, whether it's with your friends or your family, and you can play it wherever you want, whether it's recreationally or in school, especially if you're taking a gym elective at one point during your school year. The biggest issue with the hockey sticks is that they're so long and they take up so much space, so usually you don't have a designated area for them. Schools in general, and especially our school at CHS, face this issue because hockey sticks take up so much space, but they don't have enough space to actually give the hockey sticks. Now, personally, I'm taking gym this year, and we have done hockey, and I've seen the sticks. They're all battered up and torn and taped back together. It's a bad quality, and it makes it a lot harder to actually play the game of hockey. And another thing that sports and just like hockey in general face is the 70% of kids that are quitting sports before the age of 13 because they risk the fear of injury, which isn't good for the Hockey Association.
With this 70% that stopped by the age of 13, comes a large market of adolescents under the age of 13. This number is reflected by, in 2013, there were around 1.6 million hockey players in the world, and now that number has climbed to almost 30 million. This is also reflected within the toy market size within North America. In 2019, it was around $35 billion, and in 2020 it climbed to about $45 billion. And as the chart shows, it has continued to climb over the years, and it's projected to still grow larger.
So our product, the hockey stick, is a telescopic hockey stick that uses telescopic feature that allows it to collapse or expand. It can be used indoor, outdoor, and for knee hockey. Not only is it compatible for different games and heights, but also can be easy to store as well as makes travel hassle-free. As of now, we do have a prototype made of PVC, but in the future, we'd like to make one out of a high-density polyethylene plastic, which is more durable and easier to manufacture.
Now in the future, we plan on contacting manufacturers in order to search for viable prices for our new prototype. We plan on advertising our product on social media such as YouTube and TikTok. And we do have a website, although we plan on improving it in the future. Judges, you should all have a handout. And thank you.
Question for you. Can you talk a little bit about how you see this pricing out as a product?
Yes. So we plan on pricing our product based on the how much it's going to cost to produce it. So we estimate around $3 to $5 if we do production in Taiwan, and if we do in the U.S., it'll be a little more expensive. So we've kind of looked at some local areas around here to produce it. We plan on probably pricing it somewhere around the $20 mark for like a single stick and 2 hockey pucks. That way, it's affordable and still gives us a good profit margin.
With adding the different joints to the hockey stick that are going to be movable, how are you going to deal with durability?
So for our durability, this was a question we've received before. We researched about high-density polyethylene plastic, which is double the density of PVC, making it durable and also cheaper to manufacture. So it will be great for indoor and outdoor use.
So you mentioned in the beginning that it's difficult to store traditional hockey sticks. How would this product be stored?
So it can be shrunk, and the blade does come off in our final product, so it would be easier to store in places like that.
I like the idea about the storage. You can ask any teacher here. We do not have any storage capacity in this building. One, is this something that the PE teachers were looking forward to? And then the second one, in relation to that, I think what you said, how would that compare to a traditional hockey stick in terms of if they were to purchase traditional versus what yours will be?
I'm sorry, can you repeat your question?
Sure. I think your cost was $3 to $5, I think it was, for your model. What does that compare to a traditional hockey stick that we currently use right now in the PE classes?
The traditional hockey sticks, they were bought a long time ago, and they're not really good quality. So like the pricing of them, they were probably like large bought and like stock bought, and that was probably cheaper. They probably went to the cheaper option as a public school. And with our sticks, you can use them at different heights. You can use them for different things, whether it's playing hockey while you're standing up, or if you want to try to incorporate knee hockey into the curriculum, you can use it by shrinking the hockey stick down and collapsing it to do your different types of hockey needs.
Will there be any research around any effects of play using that stick opposed to a traditional hockey stick? Because I can assume that there's going to be some type of changes to how an actual person learns to play hockey and how they actually play with a hockey stick, because the hockey stick has the flexibility at the end to shoot the pucks.
Yes. So we plan on making it the same as a regular hockey stick in our final product, so the blade will be at the angle like a regular hockey stick. And when you bring it up and down, you can do different heights. So if you're like a freshman and you're a little shorter, you can give you the same ability as somebody that might be a senior that's taller. That way everybody can play the game at a similar level with a stick that suits them, rather than having just one big stick that might be burly and big for one person, but suitable for another.
Okay, thank you.
Well, have you actually played hockey with that stick?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
Sure. Have you actually gone out into the gym and played hockey with your stick?
We have not, but we want to in the future.
I mean, that's my concern when I look at your blade, that I'm going to hit the ball and it's just not going to go anywhere. So would you consider maybe making the blade a little thicker so it feels more like a hockey stick?
Yeah, this is just a prototype. The real one would obviously be an actual hockey blade.
Yeah. I have a question about your market size. You listed, I believe, 30 million hockey players. Is that hockey players as a whole, or just people who play, I call it deck hockey or gym hockey?
That 30 million includes everybody that play hockey recreationally or competitively with like a club team or some of that all over the world.
So it would include people like playing ice hockey?
Yes.
So you might want to consider the market, because I don't think they're going to be using that to play ice hockey. It's floor hockey is what you're designed it for?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It does look cool. It's a really cool concept. Nice job.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. No, we're all set. There's no more questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
The next group is Garden Group Greenery.
I'm Sam.
I'm Ben.
I'm Caleb.
I'm Chana.
I'm Addie.
And we are the Garden Group Greenery. So back in September, we released a survey to see how relevant our problem actually is. So with a total of 118 responses to this survey and the following statistics, we came to the conclusion that this is actually a problem that a lot of people face. So some statistics here are 66% of households own at least one plant, 85% of people admit to forgetting to water plants, 49% is just every now and then, and 36% is like every day. And more than 50% of people responded to the survey saying that they would consider purchasing our product if it was priced at around $40.
So to sum up what Caleb said, a survey conducted showed us that 66% of millennials in America own at least one plant. Of that 66%, 48% of people said that they struggle to take care of their plants. Our product would mainly appeal to that 48% because it provides a solution to a problem that they cannot solve on their own.
The solution that our product provides is a better and healthier way for our plants to be watered, and it's much easier, much quicker, and it saves time and saves money.
So our product, the H2 Grow, will consist of 2 household items, including a heated lamp and a water spritzer. So the product will include a 3.5-ounce bottle. Attached on the lid is 2 tubes, one tube being the water spritzer and the other being for the heated lamp. The separation of each tube will be wrapped in green waterproof wire to resemble a stem on a plant. So our product will also include a pot and a soil meter to test the moisture levels. How it works. The H2 Grow will be battery operated. The owner will have to fill the water about every month and a half or so. The water will be automatically mixed to the plants based on the soil meter's measurement. Over several months, your plant will grow, so our product will adjust with those bendable wires adjusting length and width.
If we win this contest, the money will go to the quality of the H2 Grow and expand our brand on social media. We would also make new versions to fit more plant and pot sizes.
Thank you. Any questions?
So can you go back to the watering piece? Some plants require watering from underneath rather than on top, or is this only going to be for specific plants that require top watering opposed to watering that getting down at the roots underneath?
This is specifically for plants that get water on top because of the soil meter that's attached to our product.
Thank you.
I like this idea of having 2 kids if I get to feed them. So this is really good for plants. My question I have for you is that are there any competitors with something similar to this that are watering?
Yeah, so we found a competitor, but their product was very bulky and it costed close to $200, I believe was the number. So ours would be cheaper, it would be easier to use, and more affordable.
So what are the dimensions of the device, and can they be adjusted? Like if you have a short plant versus a tall plant?
So we actually have 3 different versions of our product based for little succulents to big plants, and each plant will have the pots will include the wires, and the wires are bendable, so we can adjust them width by going around the plant or adjusting it by length.
And is there a discount if you buy multiple items? Because I have a lot of plants.
We haven't really figured that part out yet, but I guess we can come up with some cool sales deals when we actually get it out on the market.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out the lighting piece to this, and I understand the watering piece. If I'm not good with plants, this is going to help me keep my plant watered. But what is the purpose of the lighting? If you're in a home situation, couldn't you just put the plant near a window?
So the lighting is mainly for people who don't or already have a lot of plants and are maybe running out of space by a window or somewhere that actually would give them light. So I mean, I know a couple college kids that don't have windows in their dorm, so it could be useful for them potentially as well.
Okay.
Our product also, oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
We also demograph for older people too who can't walk outside or anything. So if they want to have a in-house plant, that's easier for them to be accessible since it waters it every month or so.
Sure. And the wires that you're talking about, are they in the, like, how is the water, I guess, in the soil being measured to determine how much should be administered to the plant?
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that there's some type of a wire that's in the soil of the plant that's determining how much water the plant needs. How does that work?
Yeah, so we have the sketch here. So on the third pot to the right, you can see the little circle on the side of it. So the wires come up from the circle, and then on the side of the little circle thing in the soil, there's a soil meter which will measure the dampness of the soil and basically tell the wires when to water.
Okay, thank you.
So how is this being charged? Is it battery operated? Do you plug it in?
Yeah, so it's battery operated because batteries have a much longer life than just charging it. So you'll need to charge a battery every probably a couple months, which is much less often than you water a plant, which is on a daily basis.
So who do you see as being the target market for this? Who are you trying to sell it to?
So we thought of our product that's a problem that's nationwide. We wanted to target our demographics of people who don't have the accessibility to nature for their plants. Our products help those who don't have the time or place for them to grow, so it simulates a plant cycle.
Okay, thank you.
We're all set. Thank you so much.
And the next group up is Boss Dog.
Hi, I'm Colby.
Hi, I'm Ryan.
Hi, I'm Gia.
Hi, I'm Taylor.
And this is our company, Boss Dog.
When we were thinking of this company, I was thinking about how when I was younger, my dog, Buddy, unfortunately got hit by a car after his harness came loose. So this is the inspiration for Boss Dog.
So there are many problems when it comes to a dog's neck being pulled by a leash. Dogs can be severely or minorly affected by this pull. Dogs can get burns, whiplash, bruising, and many more. This causes dogs to get angry or frustrated. If a dog tries to escape from a leash, there is currently no way to stop it.
The opportunity for this market is huge. I mean, a ton of people, even in the school, have dogs, and they deeply care about them. And from these statistics here, 200,000 dogs are injured by pull and 100,000 from tangle and trip. From these graphs here, you can see that many people either take their dogs out daily or twice a day, and this doesn't even count for the dog walkers. The other graph over here shows the types of leash. We are going to be using the standard flat leash, which takes up majority of the market, so we would be already out there.
All right, our idea is to create a gentle leader harness made out of cotton and a leash made out of nylon using these materials because they are not rough on a dog. A gentle leader harness is one that secures the dog from around their head instead of around their neck, which prevents choking to the dog, and it also gives the owner more control. There are LED lights on the harness so that the dog is visible to cars, which makes our product safer than other harnesses. There are sensors on the openings of the harness, so if the harness moves because it is too loose on the dog and there's possibility of your dog escaping, then it will detect that and it will automatically tighten, making sure your dog's secure. There's a kill switch to press on the handle of the leash in case the harness becomes too tight, and it will loosen the harness just a little bit, but it will still keep your dog secure.
Overall, we would use the money to expand our company and make a difference in the dog market by selling better and newer products while focusing on safety. We would sell our product for $25, and the cost to make the product would be $18.99.
Thank you for your time. If you have any questions.
I always get to go first now that I hold this. This is great. So, question for you. There is a gentle leader out there. How is your product different from the current gentle leader product that is out on the market? Having a dog that pulls often, I own a lot of harnesses and leashes.
So we have a gentle leader, but then we also have LED lights, and we also we want to focus on making it cheaper than the products already out on the market, and then ours focuses on safety and prevents choking.
And I just have one other question. You had put a lot of research out there. Did you send out a survey, or how did you get your data from behind how many people are having trouble walking their dogs due to pulling?
We asked people that we know who own dogs, because there are a lot of people out there that own dogs and have this problem. And we don't have like exact statistics, but a lot of people have had problems like with their dogs escaping.
Thank you.
I like the idea of the LED lights. Will that be distracting for the dog if it's up around its snout or the neck?
I don't think we don't really think it would be distracting for the dog. I think mostly when a dog goes out for a walk, it's just focused on like being outside, and I think it would just mostly be for cars so that the dog is visible and that, the dog doesn't get in a crash.
What would the range be for that kill switch? And the kill switch is to shut it off as opposed to the dog.
So it's on the leash, so it would not really need the kill switch, because if it already had escaped, which it probably won't by the time you click it, it would already be way gone and wouldn't even matter. Because what happens when you click it is it automatically tightens the thing around it to make it like impossible to escape.
Thank you.
So have you identified who your competition is?
Yes, there's really only one out there, and that's Kong, but they don't really make a product like ours, especially with that automatic tightening feature. That's unique to ours at a cheaper price than most of their leashes.
So there's really only one competition?
Yes.
Okay. So on your opportunity slide, you had these numbers, 100,000, 200,000. Where did those numbers come from?
Those came from online, like surveys taken by other people, not that we know of. Just we found those online on websites that like are trustworthy.
Okay, thank you.
So you have to help me with the concept for a second. So I understand the leader being on a dog, but yours, if the dog is pulling away, is going to restrict?
Yes.
And then the kill switch basically is if the dog runs away, let's say he did get away from you, obviously it would then release. Or if the dog was behaving, you could release it on your own. Is that the concept?
Yeah, it's more of a loosening though. Like it just loosens it. It teens, like not a lot, but since in case it malfunctions, like it tightens too much, it'll just loosen it. So you can go ahead and take off the collar or whatever and do what you want.
Okay. Where do you see yourself selling this?
Like online websites like Chewy, like Petco, PetSmart, stuff like that.
Is this the type of product you think would be better to build and distribute on your own? Or would this be the type of a concept maybe you would pitch to a company that already has a lead as like an additional feature and look into some type of a different arrangement?
We're trying to start like our own business, like just to build upon us. Like for if we did win the money for the I forget what it's called, the Difference Maker program, we would just make our own business, so like cages and other products for Boss Dog, not really going out for any other companies, just staying with us.
Okay, thank you.
Did you say this is battery operated, or is it something that needs to be charged?
So this would be battery operated.
Okay. And the way the leash works, does it go around the snoot of the dog?
Yeah, it would go around the nose.
And is it adjustable for different dogs, like a French bulldog or those dogs that really don't have, like a pug? Yeah.
Yeah, so there would be like a strap that we can loosen and tighten for different types of dogs.
Okay. All right, I think we're all set. Thank you.
And our final group is Tempest.
The down button?
Down button.
Hi, I'm TK.
I'm Ben.
I'm Monica.
And I'm Aaliyah.
And our product is an organization app called Tempest. I'm guessing everyone's lives can get pretty busy, and sometimes they can even get complicated. It's hard to keep track of everything sometimes. That's why we created Tempest, so that when life gets busy, it's easy to keep track of.
The problem many people are facing right now is forgetfulness. As shown in the chart, an average person has a lot of things to do in a day, and it's easy to forget to do some of those things. Many people also have a hard time organizing their schedule and often forget what they need to do and when they need to do it. Teenagers, for example, may have a hard time balancing their school and social life, sometimes their work life as well. Same goes for adults. They may have a hard time balancing their work and social life. That's where we come in.
So the opportunity with Tempest is to become a viable organizer for business, as 21% of people feel their life is only under control once a week or never, and 58% of Americans feel overwhelmed with the clutter of stuff in their life. Our product can help them and people diagnosed with ADHD, help them stay on track with school, work, and overall life. In a new technology-driven world, Tempest is the future.
Now, you probably have at least 2 or 3 different time management and organization apps on your phone and computer right now. There's Google Calendar, there's Trello, various notes apps. And add to that paper calendars like your desk calendar, your wall calendar. There's sticky notes, whatever lists you might write down in your journal or planner. And to look through all of this, to plan out your day, it takes a lot of time and effort to go to various different places on your phone, on your computer, on your desk, and even just to figure out what you need to do next. And with that, it can be easy to forget or miss something that's very important. So our product, Tempest, is an all-in-one, easily accessible app right on your phone, which you take with you to most places, that combines a calendar and a to-do list. With this, you only have to look at one place to plan your whole day. You can even schedule your to-dos directly onto your calendar, as we've shown, and you'll know exactly when you have time to do different things. So with this, we believe that our app has the power to help people stay on top of their schedule and organized in one simple and efficient app.
Now, our plan is to hire a small group of developers to first produce our app. Once we get our app up and running, we can start putting ads out on the app to make money, and then we will use that money to advertise our own app on things like Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, and then even maybe a TV commercial. With that money we get from advertisements, we will continue to pay the developers to improve our app from feedback through the community. Thank you. Any questions?
You mentioned advertising. What advertisers do you plan on targeting to support your product?
Ours will most likely be like when you go onto a certain like websites on the internet, how they have like the banner ads for just certain things. It'll most likely just be random ads that places that just want more advertisement out there.
And would your app be compatible for iPhones and Androids? And would it connect to the calendars that are on those phones?
Yeah, so we planned the app to be out on iPhone and also Android, so mostly for your phone. And then we also planned on later on developing a website for it so people can use it on their computers as well. And we were thinking, yeah, so it was gonna be for the iPhone and the Android.
What does Tempest stand for?
So tempus is actually just time in Latin because it will save time and it helps you plan your time. That's why our logo somewhat represents a bit of an hourglass as well.
And what is, how is this app, for practical purposes, going to help to schedule my day different than if I use Outlook calendar now and I have an Outlook task list now? How does this app actually help schedule that?
So instead of having your calendar in one place and your to-do list in another, it's all in one place. You can even like schedule things from your to-do list directly on your calendar. And just like Google Calendar, you can have multiple different, like you can have a personal calendar and a business calendar, and it's still all in one app. So it just puts everything in one place.
Okay, thank you.
Is this did you say subscription-based, or is it a one-time purchase?
Our app was gonna be free, and we were mostly just gonna make money from advertisements on the app, and then we were also gonna add like a small in-app purchase of like $2 to possibly get rid of the ads.
Thank you.
You talked about how this would also, I understand the electronic piece and feeding everything into one place. How is this supposed to capture like that sticky note you talked about or that paper calendar that someone's still using?
Yeah, so basically it just kind of digitizes it. Instead of having to use a separate calendar, you can put it onto your phone, and then instead of having your calendar in one physical place, it's brought with you everywhere.
So I'd have to manually put it in, or would I be able to scan and it would read? If I wrote down, meet with Principal Murray at 10 o'clock, I could scan that, or is it I have to physically go in and add it somewhere?
So originally you'd have to put it in just like a normal calendar, but we could add a feature where you can scan other calendars to add that.
Thank you.
So is your app going to be designed for students?
Our app didn't really have one target demographic, because I know students that could definitely use it, but I also know, like my mom, she has probably 6 meetings a day, and then she still has projects she has to do for work. So I know this could really help her too. And I talked to some teachers, and they said it would help them with meetings and grading homework as well.
No, it's definitely a nice idea, but I think the big concern is how do you stand out from the many other apps doing the exact same thing?
Yeah, that's definitely our biggest thing, but that's why we're trying to make it so it's one app. And we looked at all the other apps and like the different reviews they got on why it was bad. And so once we have the actual app up, we had different ideas on how we could improve things that people didn't like, and how some apps didn't have multiple languages. Like that was one thing we were going to do. But it was really just the big idea of getting the to-do list and the calendar all together so that it was in one easy place, and it would be on your phone, because I know a lot more people take that everywhere than maybe like a piece of paper they wrote down what they had to do.
Okay, thank you.
We're all set. Thank you so much.